Welcome, ladies and gents. Today I will be talking to you about The Division and more precisely missions in the game. Now, for those who don't know, The Division is a multiplayer cover-based shooter with RPG elements such as item drops, items in general, and skills. So, since we covered this, now let's get talking about missions. There are three types of missions in the game. Firstly, there are story missions, of course. Secondly, secondary missions, and then random encounters in the world. I will be focusing upon secondary missions because I've got a little problem with them. Not only me, most people have, I think. I've heard this is a popular opinion amongst those who played the open beta. And I want to talk about a possible, I don't know, fix for it. Not exactly a fix, but an idea to implement a fix for it. The thing with secondary missions is that you have to repeat them to get loot. You just farm them, like you farm a zone in Path of Exile. You can change the difficulty, it's easy. But the thing is, when you change the difficulty to hard, the NPCs get really bullet spongy. I mean, you have to shoot them a lot. They say they get armor, but it doesn't make any sense because you'll see these are random thugs here, just like, yeah, with a gun and shooting, and they can take a full magazine of my M4 like with no problem because they have armor. And it gets even worse. You'll see some people with bats, baseball bats, running up to you, and you have to shoot them like with all your bullets just to kill them. And it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, they're people, not machines or anything. So what would be a possible workaround for this? Well, I've been playing lately a lot of Warframe, and it's a similar game, still a shooter, it still has RPG elements like skills and leveling and items, but it does something nice to make the enemies harder. They don't necessarily have more health, although the health scales up, of course, but it's not that ridiculous like in the Division. But they also implement an armor system and an elemental system. So some types of armor are vulnerable to a kind of damage. You have piercing damage for armor, shields are weak to impact damage. So that's a nice system to balance out the damage without increasing the health too much. And also you have the possibility to make elemental combos, like you can have electricity damage or fire damage or ice damage. Something similar to that could be put into the Division, and maybe this will allow the health of the mobs to drop, and they will still remain difficult because you'll have to keep one weapon with this kind of damage and then switch it to the other weapon when different types of enemies spawn. So it will make the gameplay more interesting, I think, in my opinion. Now, it may be wrong, I'm not a game developer, but just my 2 cents here. Also, what I don't like about the cover system in the Division is that it's a bit restrictive, because sometimes when you have a small object and a tall object right against it, it won't take cover where you want it to. Although it shows you where you take cover, it just won't do that. It's weird. And also the lack of jumping, it seems like a bit too restrictive. You can jump over things using control, I think. Yeah, control it was. But you can't jump per se, like normal jumping. It reminds me a bit of Guild Wars, the first Guild Wars. So yeah, I think those things could be improved in the game, especially the health of the NPCs, because it's ridiculous. I mean, a guy with a bat charging at you, you can't take him down with a full magazine of bullets. I mean, seriously. Not like they're zombies or anything. They're normal players. Normal players. Normal humans, let's say. Yeah, so that's what I had to say about the missions. If you have suggestions or you want to discuss this, please post in the comments down below. And I don't know, let's start a debate about it. I want to hear your opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. It's quite likely I'm wrong, but yeah, you never know. It's been a pleasure as always. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you want to. I think I will be covering the Division once it launches. Until then, I'll just stay in the dark. I don't want to hear about any changes in the game. I just want to see how it turns up.